Welcome to the Fantasy NASCAR podcast brought to you by racefortheprize.com. Let's get ready for Kansas. Kansas will be determined by the racing, but also on pit road. We expect plenty of cautions in this race because of tire rubs, running near the wall, crazy restarts. There's going to be a lot of action on pit road, a lot of places to be gained. So let's look at the pit data from Dover. If you want access to this data, go to racefortheprize.com or just simply Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, the money. You can see it in the description below. The information's at racefortheprize.com. $30 for the month of May. And get some of this data that's going to help you build better lineups, help you differentiate between your hogs or dominators. Try to find a value driver that may be able to gain some spots on pit road, hang into the race. You want the data? I got the data. Trying to save you time, trying to make it easy, give you a little bit of an edge. Come join us. We're having fun here. Big month of May racing. Let's get to the data and explain it. Now, first, I want to show that some of the early week data that I had was a formula issue. The formula has been fixed. You always got to double check that stuff. We're good to go now. Probably should have double checked it before recording or tweeting. I welcome your criticism. Hey, it's a free pod, but there's really no excuse. Got to do better. It is a one-man operation, but ultimately we get things right here. Let's explain the data. So we pull it out and we can see the driver's starting position, and we can see the laps that they pit on, and then we can see what was the status of the race. 2 is a yellow flag pit stop. Green's going to be your green flag pit stops. And this is simply the time of the race in seconds. How long into the race are we? Now, our next data point that we're looking at here, that you can get at racefortheprize.com, just the total time of their stop, which is important. Sometimes we get hung up on how fast was the pit crew, but also we need to look into how good is the driver getting into pit road and getting off of pit road. Sometimes you maybe want to look more in towards their green flag in and outs. Either way, that data is there. You've got the total time, stop time, in and out time. We also sort whether they're going to be 4-tire or 2-tire. Mainly, we want to look at 4-tire data, simply because when we're comparing 4 to 2, it's apples to oranges, but there's that. And then we can see what position were they coming in, what position were they coming out, and you can see here early in the race, not good for Kyle Busch, giving up 3 spots during the first yellow pit stops. Maybe that lowers him on your list. Maybe that worries you. Probably should. Then our next column over here, explaining the data further. If we look at their 4-tire average, and on average throughout the race, a 4-tire stop by the pit crew for Kyle Busch's team was 10.2 seconds. That was 7th best on the day. Obviously, that's going to hurt you if you want to be a lap leader or a hog. Next category we have over in the data is more of the driver input. So this is really just everything that you need. I'm going to sort it out a little bit further and say, all right, well, pit crews aside, is the driver doing his job? Now, obviously, Kyle Busch did his job. We look at how fast in and out, mainly because of that number 1 pit stall. He has a very low out speed, as you can see over here. And that's going to lead to him having some of the best stops in terms of driver input. He does his job, though, but having that number 1 pit stall you'll see often is going to make the driver look pretty good in out-wise. It's important because if a driver has a little bit of an edge getting in and off the pit road, maybe you want to look at the green flag runs. Either way, that data is there to go a little bit further beyond just looking at who's fast with pit crews, who also is maximizing in and off of pit road. I don't know if that's going to be as big of an issue at Kansas because we're expecting a lot of yellows. So we don't think there'll be a lot of green flag cycling. But at specific races where you think it's going to be green and green flag pit stops, that's kind of the data that you could look at. Next category over, we're going to take this data where we're mainly looking at driver input and then just rank the best pit stops. Obviously, Kyle Busch was the best on the day with that number 1 pit stall. You see Larson pop up here with a really fast in-out time, Nemechek, Truex. So that is the data. Mainly this page just gives you the raw data, but then also the driver inputs. Now, if we go over to 4 tire, this is where we're going to look more at the pit crews. And hey, no surprise, Denny Hamlin wins the race. And one of the reasons why he wins the race is his pit crew is the fastest on average. 9.8 pit stops, ranks first. His 9.2 time was the second best. His best time was the second best of the day. And his worst time of 10.3 was the second best worst time. So he didn't have any bad pit stops. He had the best pit stop. He averaged near the top. You go ahead and calculate in-out time along with his pit stops. Best day on pit road. Wins the race. Chase Elliott. A lot of the gains that he made during the Dover race were on the track, but his pit crew did him plenty of favors and helped him out. And so we can see Logano had a fast day. Wallace's pit crew was fast. Gibbs's pit crew was fast. That definitely helped him get from his starting position around 19th up into the top 10. Kyle Larson maintaining track position all day with a good pit crew. Bowman, good, but then you can see you get some bad pit stops towards the end. It can really hurt a guy. Busch could have had a better day. Now, on average, his team was pretty good. But early in the race, they cost him spots. And we can go back and actually look at that data and see, because I didn't talk about this. So we look at Kyle Busch. We can look at all of his pit stops. And on average, his crew was good. But in that first pit stop, he comes in third, exits sixth, loses 3 spots, loses spots. One of the things you got to be cognizant of, though, when we're looking at green flag stops, because of pit cycling and where people are on the track, these plus minus are going to be pretty skewed because they're not all pitting at the same time. I'll show you an example. Like we'll go down to Hamlin, but either way, these are more telling. The green flag pit stops are always going to be weird numbers because people are still on the track. So technically, a guy may go from second to 13th, but that's just because other people haven't hit pit road yet. We can go down to Denny Hamlin to show you an example of that. You know, we already just looked at the Hamlin data and showed that, oh, he was great on pit road. And then someone might say, well, but he lost 8 spots on lap 183. Well, this was a green flag pit cycle. When things all sorted out, he was fine. Oh, but he lost 13 spots. It's a green flag pit cycle. So when things sorted out, he was fine. So don't overreact to those numbers. It's better to look at, if you're looking at gains, you can really only look at the caution type laps. And when we were under caution, yellow, Hamlin gets 2 spots. Hamlin gets a spot. Hamlin gets 2 spots. I mean, and if we were able to actually really calculate the data, I'm sure he probably gained spots right here when things cycled out as well. But either way, from the data that we do know for sure, he gained 5 spots. And so when you've got Hamlin starting towards, 10th or whatever it was, he gets 5 spots on pit road. Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations. You're now in the top 5 in clean air and able to win this race. 5 spots in the top 10 are not easy to gain on the track. But if you can get those 5 spots on pit road, because if you're pit crew, that's like freaking steroids, man. It's unbelievable. You take that. 5th to 3rd, those are not easy passes to make on track. 5th place car beating a top 3 car. Woo. 3rd to 1st. That's very difficult. But not on pit road. So we look at the data and we can see clearly that, when we go to Kansas, where pit road's going to make or break teams and has make or broken teams all year long, Hamlin, you just got to keep jamming him in. Elliott. Logano is interesting because the car may be slower than what it actually is. But his pit crew last week kept him around the top 10. Bubba Wallace going to Kansas where he's been fast before. If his pit crew can be clean, he definitely can be a driver that's going to be in the top 5. And if you're in the top 5, you can lead laps on fast laps. Have a good restart. Get on clean air. Even if he doesn't, pick up fast laps along the way. Gibbs, not a guy getting a lot of attention at the moment. but a good day on pit road, and he could be one of those cheaper hogs that we go to or dominators that we go to. Kyle Larson doing his thing. Kind of impressive here from AJ Allmendinger, a colleague. Maybe that was one of the things that really helped them. Obviously, colleague had enough speed, decent track position at Dover, and then just not screwing up on pit road definitely helped them. I mean, really what we want to try to avoid are bad stops. I mean, average can be misleading. Those bad stops don't necessarily hurt some of our value or mid-tier, but the bad stops make a Kyle Busch not end up being a guy that leads a lot of laps, runs a lot of fast laps, and ends up in the optimal lineup. And although he recovers, it's too late in the show. We need you to be consistently good on pit road. Hopefully this data was helpful. And maybe you want to filter through this data on your own. Look at the Texas pit stops as well. You can get all that data at racefortheprize.com. May package, $30. You take that money, help me and my family out so I can buy Happy Meals, diapers, daycare. Maybe we'll get around to the kitchen cabinets at some point. But this is the kind of stuff that you can dig into and have some real fun with and really enjoy the process. It'll save you a lot of the time, present a lot of this information, make it easier for you, maybe give you a bit of an edge. You know, you don't really need like a giant simulation tool. You don't need to drop $300 a month on a simulation tool. I've got the data for you for $30 and you're helping a guy that's working with you. I mean, it's just you and me, folks. There's no third-party product that I'm selling. I'm not out here pitching something that I'm being told to sell. This is just the stuff that I work on every day. I don't make money shilling tools. I want to help you out, build the sheet, and you can help me out. This podcast is basically just an infomercial for the work that I do, and I do the work to support my family. You support me, I support you. There's no other third-party thing here. And here's that secret. And I experienced this once upon a time when I worked for a big site and shilled out tools. That $300 a month simulation thing that you really don't need, they get it for free. I got it for free. And so I said, they're like, oh, you need to buy this package. It's so great. Look at all these fancy tools. I wasn't paying for it. They're not paying for it. So they're making you pay $300 for something that they don't have to pay for themselves. In most cases, I don't know for sure. But I know that was my experience. I was shilling out tools that I got for free, but then expected other people to pay for. It's $30. Supporting the family. I mean, $300, man, that's a lot of Happy Meals. Sorry, kid, you gotta starve. Daddy needs to subscribe to a website. The kitchen cabinets can wait. I need to get the computer algo running. I don't know. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I do know that it's just you and me trying to build these tools to help you out. And hopefully it is, and you can send some back my way, and all is good in the world. And you feel like you have more control over your work and the experience of playing fantasy NASCAR, because that's what it's about. We want to think about NASCAR. We love NASCAR. All the people here love it. We love playing this. We love looking at the data and making decisions. I don't want a computer to do it for me. I don't want to pay a computer to do it for me for $300 a month. I want to be in control and just, subscribe. And if you don't, that's fine. Just like the videos, share the videos, recruit more people to this. This is a place for people who really love NASCAR, enjoy NASCAR. I know sometimes you get frustrated, but you shake it off and get excited about Kansas night race or the Cinco de Mayo Kansas race. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I love it. I love racing, dirt racing, Xfinities, trucks, Mazda MX-5, horses, the Derby. We talked about it. Is he talking about the Derby again? Hot browns, man, juleps. Come on, man. Positive vibes here. Really excited about this weekend. Hopefully this data you like it. If you got any questions, you DM me, send me emails, chat it up. Always open to conversations and criticisms if you disagree on my takes. Hopefully they're not negative. I'm just trying to sell some sheet. This is a rant/sales pitch. Didn't know that's what I was getting into, but you got some data on the screen that's helping you out. Hopefully that's pretty informative and pretty cool to look at and intriguing. So check that out, racefortheprize.com. May package available. Really am blessed that you guys keep watching. The subscribers are growing, channel is growing. One of our guys won the Xfinity contest, the Piston, the big one. It's awesome. Hopefully we get more winners, and you guys are doing well and really enjoying it. And sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose, but hopefully you're really enjoying the racing, and the spreadsheets and the podcasts are making it more enjoyable, saving you time, making it easy, giving you a little bit of an edge, feeling good about your process, feeling in control of your process, trying to do those things. If you got any things that you need, let me know. Again, just blessed to have you guys here. I love you guys. Trip to Life, fantastic.